Hello guys and welcome. Got another Fleet Ops game for you today. Version 3.27, map is Hell's Kitchen. And everybody's kind of tired at the end of a long day of other games and out of syncs, so it's just kind of for fun. I may not even post this, we'll see. But what we have is SIGG as Martok Klingons and his ally Starmaster Prodigy, who's Borg, and they are going against Admiral Drayzon, who is Federation, and his ally Chips, who is also Federation. So we have a double Fed, and this is, I wondered. So Mighty Master has gone Assimilate Avatar, and we'll see how that affects them. This is this map has a bit of a long run distance, but he might be able to get away with some assimilator shenanigans if he does them very early. Now, I've really, as I'm approaching a new release for Triptychs mod, I've really been trying to study the amounts of resources that we have on the map. Because we've talked about a couple things. One, we've talked about, getting new maps that are bigger. Probably more like this one, honestly. This is kind of on the big end of our maps. But, longer travel distances and more moon pairs in order to get, bigger fights overall. But it's a double-edged sword. One is, a lot of the maps we have already are kind of big, but people just haven't been expanding them, and you can't really control people's behavior. The other one is I have been considering increasing the income that comes off of each moon. In which case, maybe 2 moon pairs would be all you'd need for a while. And obviously, if you did that and you had big maps, then the amount of income you get is just incredible. As I've tested it, you just get, well, the amount that I've been increasing it was 33%, which basically means in my new system, 3 moon pairs is equal to 4 moon pairs in the old system. And in the old system, 4 moon pairs is very rare. That's kind of the pinnacle. Like by the time you get 4 moon pairs is when you're Dominion and you've got 4 or 5 large yards pumping stuff out. So I like the idea of increasing income off of moons in that it makes all of our existing maps more viable, but it also makes the games get big very, very fast. Some early game ships you could get absolute hordes of them. Some later game ships you can tech them very quickly, build out of multiple yards. We'll see how it goes. But this is going to be a good, comparison because, this is a map that has some very safe rear expansions, but they're also so far back that a cloaker or some fast ships can raid them very easily, and it's kind of expensive to maintain these. It's expensive to put fortification back here that otherwise might do nothing at all. So a lot of people tend to leave them undefended, which makes them good raiding targets. And then you've got your forward moons, which can be very interesting. The way the dilithium is sort of tucked away back here makes it kind of hard to kill, but you can also go around the back. It's the type of map where if one person goes over here to attack, the other 2 opponents might double team on the other side of the map. So you really got to watch out for that, because getting double teamed is no bueno. Okay, I'm going to start commentating the actual game now. So, SIGG as Martok Klingons has not expanded his field yard yet, but he's getting a heavy weapons platform. So he's trying to turtle up here. That could be a bit tricky. Since he hasn't expanded to his expansion, he's only turtling his home. So that will limit him to 2 moon pairs and make it kind of difficult for him to move forward later, since he's not going to have enough money to build any ships. And it's a double heavy weapons platform, so he is really turtled up. Starmaster Prodigy has fast assimilated. Fast assimilated? And I see a torpedo, but I would have expected... Okay, because he's Assimilate Avatar, he reaches max efficiency with only 2 modules. So he has 2 Assimilate modules and a torpedo module. And you can see he has very high system value on that. 1807 energy. I don't know if it actually lists the energy requirement. Okay, 50 per second. So, 36. So basically, it can assimilate, 36 seconds? Yeah, it could run about half a minute. Does it say how many it kills? 6 crew per second. 6 times 36. Oh, I shouldn't math this late at night. It 36, 180. But then all of these numbers are also multiplied by 2/3. So it assimilates about 130 crew. Yeah. Which means if it's something like, a miner or a constructor, it can capture it before running out of energy. Also things like monsoons and intrepids. But an intrepid is like 100, or it is like 85 crew. So like it's close. And if he starts boarding, then the thing will run out. So real quick up here, Drayzon is going for a quick Starfleet command that will help against the Assimilate avatar. However, it will not be out for a little while. So over here, we see the monsoons coming out. This is a very interesting setup because the monsoons have very good resistance to the torpedo weapon. They're very difficult to kill. Actually, very smartly disabling his blue beam for a second there because he realized he wasn't going to get it and he needs the energy back. So there's really nothing that can contest this assimilator right now. And, it looks like under Drayzon's guidance, he's going for a Starfleet command. Oh, there we go. So here's the thing. These monsoons have very good resistance to the torpedo weapon, but their low crew makes them very vulnerable to... Oh, you got to board it. Is it out of vision? Oh, no, he got it. They're very vulnerable to the assimilation beam. And that... Maybe they do more than 130. Oh, I guess they're also recovering very quickly. Oh, no. He is both boarding it and blue beaming it at once. A lot of micro going on here. And because he was boarding it, that means he instantly gets it instead of having to board it for a second as it drifts. So, wait, but did they board the other one back? I'm so confused now. Did he... Okay, I think he only successfully escaped with one, even though he'd assimilated two. But he's recovering energy so fast. I guess that was a bit of a mistake there to say it's about 130, 140 because it recovers energy while it's using the beam. It's certainly not enough to threaten something like a yard here. But this monsoon, that's his only real source of crew. Oh, and he is forward expending. Now, here's the thing about an assimilate build. One assimilator is not scary. Two assimilators is very scary because now they have enough energy to assimilate a yard. And as long as he hits the yard with his torpedo weapon every once in a while, the yard can't use the recrew function. Now there's one warp in, and I suspect we'll see another warp in just a second. And this is, oh yes, he didn't get any Excelsiors with their low crew count. He only got the sensor nebulas with 250 crew. So these are basically not going to get caught. And this is where, yeah, this is the problem with Assimilate. Is like this ambassador is basically unkillable by assimilators. It takes half damage from the long range torpedo. It has enough crew that it can't really be captured. Now the two assimilators can get that if he's quickly, but it might have drifted. Oh no, and the recovery. That was a bit of a frustration there because he wasn't going to get it. And yeah, he can get that one, but these monsoons are so fast. And you see here, now these... Oh, no, that'll do it. Okay. That did the trick. I was about to say the assimilators can't get any kills, but there are ships here that they can kill. And these guys only 110 crew, so they are capturable. Oh, don't let it get cut out. That's a good target. That's a... Oh, he's already captured that one. Oh my goodness. I was thinking that was a Federation monsoon. But he can use the monsoon to tank for these ships because it has lower defense. So he can fly it in at the last second and the enemies will auto-target it real quick. However, he can't repair it because he doesn't have an adaptation matrix. So he's run away over here. It doesn't matter for him that he gets safe. It only matters that he get somewhere they don't know where he is. Unfortunately, his ally SIGG is finally getting some Quebec production, finally getting some mining, but the two heavy weapon platform early on did not go very well with his allies' super aggressive strategy. He has no ships to support Starfighter. Is that the one from before? I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's going to get killed by the torpedo, but there's even more monsoons, and the energy is not super high. There we go. He knows what to go for, though. He knows what to do to chase these guys off. Oh, oh, careful. That boarding will... Oh, something disabled the engines. And with very unusual timing. It looks like the ship had turned around right when the engines got disabled and it drifted over here. The real question is, though, when does the third assimilator come out? And obviously, oh, ha. Starmaster Prodigy, I don't know if he decommissioned his node or if he just never built it, but he has been doing a bleeding edge every single point. He might have even bought Resistance is Futile to get connections. Yeah, he only ever built one node, so he's like really min-maxing this build as much as he can. Oh, but he needs the Tritanium one to dock before he can build his third. And it looks like his Monsoon did die, but then he captured that other one. And now you see the third assimilator is going to be very dangerous. They will hit the point where they can capture Monsoons, and there's nothing the top team can do about it. I mean, they could like immediately try boarding it, but when they do that, the assimilators just board something else. And you'll see they're going to start stealing miners, and what he really wants is to steal a storage dock. Yep, there it goes. And at this point, you almost want to stop boarding it so that its shields go back up. Oh, it's probably going to die. But you see, he's still got decent energy, and there, that one's going to drop super fast. Oh, it gets away, though. And kills these. But yeah, he needs the third assimilator so bad. There it goes. Any second now. So, but I think the Fed ball are gonna overcome him, because the moment the second warp-ins come in, there will be nothing he can do anymore. The Monsoons will take up the attention, but there will be enough bigger ships to be a problem. Over here, Admiral Drayzon expanding his mining everywhere. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, third assimilator on the way. Maybe he should get his other mining node at some point. Oh, he's focusing Tritanium right now. SIGG still... Okay, SIGG has 2 combat ships now, which will help because they will tank for the assimilators. You know, they'll get auto-targeted before the assimilators, but we're already going into mid-game Federation at this point. Yeah, he's only got the 1 yard. Although it looks like he's planning to go forward constructor up here, but yeah, there's another warp-in. Yeah, this is not something that Quebec's can handle anymore. And Chips did get his mining up here. But, you know, yeah, Federation don't need money in 3.27. They just warp in all their stuff. Yeah, there's more free stuff here than there is paid stuff. And Starmaster Prodigy knows this, and he is running. And this is one of the unfortunate things about assimilators. So a lot of Borg ships can shoot backwards while they run. However, for these guys in particular, if you want to activate their blue beam, you have to do it, and your unit will stop and turn to face the target. And obviously, when you're running away like that, if you're blue beaming something and it turns around and runs, like if there's one lead Monsoon and you start blue beaming it and it immediately turns around, then you've got that tough choice. Do you turn your assimilator around to try to catch it? Or do you just let it go? And if you do let it go, well, you lost some of your energy that you can't really get back. I wonder if they capture that back. No, they're just gonna... Oh! Okay, he wants it. He can get it. But its crew's... its life support's down, so... Oh, catches a couple of these guys out, though. That's one. Might be two. Oh, they're moving and they're too fast. Yeah, it's really dangerous for those Monsoons to go alone, though. But yeah, we've got, with Starmaster Prodigy not building an economy at all, and SIGG not really building ships much, because he was planning to build a forward yard, but then he pulled back from it. He's even getting all the other mining back here. But with these top two, with the top team mining, it's not going to be a competition. There's one that got caught, but it will probably die pretty fast. There's another one got caught, but this guy's going to die, and he even had energy left. Ugh. Heartbreaking. A bit of fire work going on the Quebecs. That's okay. Going for an Akira, that's actually not a bad call. When you've got the energy to do it. Although, do you have the energy to do it? Oh, without the third assimilator, it might be too late. I mean, he has claimed his prize, but the price is an assimilator, which is not really replaceable. Although he did good damage to those guys who were boarding stuff, and the Quebecs have cloaked out. SIGG says, nope, nope, you're on your own. I'm going to leave you to die. And even the Akira gets away. And I'm expecting to see a GG. Yeah, he's transferred all of his resources over to SIGG, but SIGG has no factories. So yeah, assimilate avatar is a very tricky one, because it's basically, what you just saw there is a very good example of how it goes. I'm just going to talk about this before I finish the recording. Yeah, the first assimilator can come out very fast, be super dangerous, a little bit like a warbird. It's not really killable in the beginning, and then you build up to 2 and eventually 3. But if the enemy curves faster than you, like if the enemy has, if there are places on the map where the enemy can build more expansion mining, like behind them, that makes it a lot less viable, because the assimilator is too slow to come attack this. So it's basically a strategy that isn't capable of raiding mining. Now, if this was a dilithium moon here, or like if he had tried to expand all the way out here, then the assimilator becomes really good, because it can get rid of forward mining stations. In Triptych's mod, I'm looking to lower the starting resources, which is very tricky because it lowers how fast the first assimilator can come out, but it also lowers how much strength the other person might have for response. I think the answer is to put it in a place where an assimilator start is not viable. You can't just go assimilator first. You have to get some scout cubes. You have to play some regular early game ships first and then move into them later. I feel like that's more fair and would allow for more variety. And obviously there will always be cases where people try to go assimilator first and they might get away with it. But I think I want to see assimilators added to an already existing Borg fleet, like some dodecahedrons, some scout cubes, and then an assimilator. But we'll see what the future yields. It's honestly one of the hardest designs to balance in any real-time strategy game, which is why I like it, because it's such a challenge. So for now, this is Triptych signing off.